How's it going, YouTube? My name's the Dark Reviewer, and some bad news. I was trying to upload the Last Jedi review that I made last week, but apparently an error occurred, and I'm now trying to fix it. So, instead, I'm now giving you guys another top 10 list before I go back to school, and hopefully I'll be able to fix the Last Jedi review, so I'll be able to upload 2 videos this week. Alright, but I'm actually going to open this up to interpretation because this is a topic of a top 10 list that I want everyone to take part of. So here we are. I'm giving my top 10 anime villains. Number 10. So, kicking off this list of the bad guys, this one is actually the original bad guy, from probably one of the most iconic and the best English dubs of anime in all of anime history. Vicious from Cowboy Bebop. Now, Vicious, he was once partners with Spike Spiegel, and yet, due to circumstances, he's now becoming one of those criminal organizations and actually became the head of his own criminal empire. And it wasn't until Spike Spiegel and Vicious actually duted out in a final battle which determined who would win in their own little fight of a sword and gun. The classic little saying, you bring a gun to a knife fight, the gun will win. But these two are honorable so much, and they're actually consider themselves brothers. But all it was an emotional time for me in watching these two former friends, former brothers in arms, trying to kill each other. And the whole thing ended with both of them dying. Yep, this one was a tie between the two. And it ended with the classic thing that Spike always did to the camera. Bang. So, even though that Vicious might be a high-ranked villain on certain lists, he's the one that's kicking off this animated villains. Number 9. You always think that snakes are cute and like little, probably not when you see this guy. Orochimaru from Naruto. Now this guy was the one that set off the whole, like, what it took to be a Naruto villain in this anime. He is cold, he is calculative, he has an insane amount of abilities. Especially when he stretches his arms or any of his body limbs like snakes. He's even able to hide in plain sight because he was able to camouflage his whole face. And I mean, holy crap, this guy is like OP, especially when Naruto went to his fourth tail, like not shimmy form. And he was actually about to blast Orochimaru in oblivion, but he literally crawled out of his own skin. I'm just like, oh god, that is the... Sorry, just reminding me of that makes me almost want to puke looking at it. Because he literally just crawled out of his own skin. No one does that. I mean, do I recall my anime dub impressions? Absolutely, because this guy is voiced by the one and only Steven Blum, and boy does he make him unsettling. Just the pitched rasp of his voice and the way that they mixed his voice with other actors when he's showing his camouflage. It's just really creative, and that's why I think Orochimaru is probably one of the best and one of the only best Naruto villains. Number 8. And one guy who survived almost half of the first manga and anime series and then reintroduced when he betrays a soul society in about the 5th way of the series' main antagonist. Nope. Not unless you're this guy. Aizen Sorosuke from Bleach. Where do I even start with this guy? I'll just be frankly honest. He is the worst of the worst in Bleach. He's just, I mean, when you're a captain of the 5th Division and then you betray your own group and then start becoming and defeat even the most powerful of our protagonists like Ichigo and Kasuke and when you beat Kasusuke, this guy is literally power. He has that much power, especially when going to his abilities. It's just he thought that people should be equal when they look at the dedication to the 13th Court Squads, and is that what I think is more threatening about him is the way he's so mysterious. No one knows what he's planning. I mean, it only took like the rise of the gates of hell to show like what his true intentions were. By the way, you guys have got to watch Bleach, because this character alone makes me want to rewatch it again. So, I mean, I can't really spoil much. I mean, because the reason why I do these top 10 lists is because there's certain villains I don't really want to spoil, or certain characters on a list I don't want to spoil. So, either way, his powers consist of his Shikai ability, or the Kenzen Summon, which basically means he's actually able to, how can I phrase this? He uses the sword's influence by touching it and activating like the most powerful Bankai in the Bleach anime. So either way, his body goes through multiple transformations, and with boosts his speed and strength. I mean, it took both of our main characters to kill him. So either way, I definitely recommend Bleach, and especially this character. Check out Aizen on Bleach, and I think that's why he's deserving on a spot on this list. Number 7. This bitch. Cinder from Ruby. Her character alone is the reason why I put her on this list. I mean, Ruby may not be an official anime of sorts, but it's an American-inspired anime, and the way it's done, it's like anime, so she earns a spot. Now, her Cinder is how can I even say this without even getting so upset? She is legitimately power hungry. That's the phrase I would sum her character. All she wants is power. She literally kills anyone for power. And especially when she's trying to find the maidens so she can have all the powers to herself to take down Salem. But the way she does it is brutal, and what she did to Pyrrha, my god, jeez, why don't you just pull more of my heartstrings, but don't you, Rooster Teeth? Just what she did to her in front of Ruby and Jean. I was so relieved because I'm all caught up with Ruby, and I saw her bit the dust by Yang's mother Raven, who actually fooled her saying that she's the Spring Maiden. Yep, big surprise, Cinder, and now she was frozen and falling down a cliff, and I could not have been happier. So, either way, Cinder may not be the biggest baddie in Ruby, but she is such a bitch for what she did to Pyrrha, and I'm putting her on this list. I really hope she burns in hell, Cinder. Number 6. Yeah, this guy is a complete OP asshole. Naruto from Inuyasha. Now we're getting into the big OP and totally impossible way to kill villains on this list. Naraku he's trying to be a god, and that's literally his agenda. I mean, it takes almost half the series to kill him, and the only way they killed him was when he actually achieved like his true potential, and then Inuyasha cuts his head off. And I was like, oh, I wish they could have done that like a few weeks ago. But Naraku, he's actually one of my favorites. He is a threat. He wants to turn everything and everyone into his own little personal game. His own little personal toys, actually. And it's the way he does it is through brutality, his sense of demonstrating his power. Is just he's a tyrannical ruler, and it shows when he wants to become a full-on a deity. And like I said, it took the whole style of Inuyasha the first half of the series to kill him. I mean, he was a big threat. He literally he beat Inuyasha multiple times. He almost killed Kikome. Just this guy is truly a threat. And if you guys haven't seen Inuyasha in such a while, this guy is worth the rewatch. I really enjoy the voices they gave him, both the dub and the sub. Both of the actors I applaud. And Naruto, you are the deity on the number 6 spot on this list. Number 5. This guy is literally a hero killer. And you'll see why. Hero Killer Stain from My Hero Academia. Now this guy is a full-on supervillain in this show. Even though he was only in the show, the second season actually, he was only in there for about like 5, maybe 6, because he is mentioned a little bit more towards the end of the season. But this guy, he is a threat. He is such the biggest threat that they've faced since the Brotherhood of Evil. And when I actually saw him face against Deku, Torodaki, and his quirk is actually he's able to stun an opponent just by licking their blood from a wound he cuts with his knife. And depending on like the blood types, like either an A, an O, or so on, he can stop them for a certain amount of time. And it's threatening, because when you can't even move, you're paralyzed. The way they did his character is just, I applaud them. They made him so menacing, so threatening. I just thought that he could have been this version of their Joker from the DC Cinematic Comics. And I wish he was. Because Stain, he has an idea. He has a goal in life for being a villain. He thinks that heroes have become a plague on this earth, and he thinks that none of them are worthy for being who they are. So he's taking matters in his own hands. He's becoming like a Punisher, but a total crazed villain Punisher. So hopefully we'll see more of him in season 3 coming this year. And Stain, please don't cut me if you didn't like this review about yourself, please, and thank you. Number 4. Have you ever thought of a sibling and you actually thought that maybe you could have been using something better with him? Or her? Or whatever? Probably shouldn't take the advice from this guy. Zeref from Fairy Tail. This guy is a conniving asshole of a brother. He literally he made Natsu into the most villainous END demon. And the way he did it, he killed him, brought him back, put a demon soul in him, transported him to the future, dropped him off at Igneal's doorstep like, hey, here's my demon brother, can you train him? Thank you, bye. And just he's even still alive, trying to prove that he wants to be the master wizard of all of Fjord. So, I mean, he hasn't really made a big appearance in the anime so far. He has been mentioned a lot in the manga and in the anime, but he's not really been given them a screen time. But when I saw they reveal him in Dragon Cry like a few months ago, I was like, well, damn. Things are actually light up this last season of Fairy Tail. Yeah, and spoiler alert, next season of Fairy Tail has been confirmed, and it will be the final season. It will be the final season of the anime. So, yep, hopefully we'll be able to see Natsu's E&D form, because that was actually a lot of fun to watch in Dragon Cry. So, who knows? Maybe we'll actually see him and Zeref duke it out and see who's the superior wizard. So, I mean, Zeref, he has been known to be quite a strong opponent. Even Agnologia is almost scared to fight him. So, what I have to say about Zeref, he is an asshole of a big brother to Natsu. And what I probably have to say to wrap him up is, don't be like him. Don't be like him. If you have a brother or anything like that, don't be like him. He is an asshole. He is a cynical, conniving asshole. And hopefully you're watching this, Zeref. I really hope Natsu kicks your butt in next week in the final season. I am placing my bet on that, pal. Number 3. Do I really have to talk about this character? You sure I'm supposed to talk about this? Okay. Sho Tucker from Fullmetal Alchemist and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. What can I say about this guy? He is an absolute creep. He is the creepiest and the most evil father I've seen in all of anime. Just what he did to Mei Chang and Alexander. Oh my god, that was terrifying. That was disturbing. And I would never want to be like that. I would never. I mean, he has license revoked and was actually getting it back in over 2 years. That's what the whole thing is. Like, that was 2 years ago, and that was 2 years ago as well. But Edward then figured it out when he saw the Chimera actually call him Big Brother Ed. I'm just, oh my god.
I did it, boys. I finally did it. A Chimera that understands human speech.
No, do not show me that. Do not show me this bullshit.
Here, let me show you. Listen to me. That person over there, that's Edward. That person, Edward. Yes, that's very good. Well done. It's amazing. It can actually talk. I don't have to worry about losing my certification. That person, Edward. That person, Edward. That person, Edward. Big Brother Ed.
No. Nope. Nope. I'm done. I can't handle that part. Nope. Video's done. Nope. We have to get to this part quick. So yeah, they find her. They had to put her out of her misery with Scar. So yes, I'm moving on. I'm moving on from that because that is too disturbing and is too heartbreaking for me. So yeah, Sho Tucker, you're a creep. You're on this list. Okay, goodbye. Number 2. Who would have thought that a vampire in a kids tailored anime could be such a threat and cannot die? Myotismon from Digimon. If Dracula was an anime villain in a Digimon, had a whole lot of swag and a really cool outfit, you would get Myotismon. He is literally the big baddie in all of Digimon history. Just the way he is literally a tyrant. He believes himself to be the king of the digital world, and he wants to subjugate even the Earth world. I'm just like, this guy is so egotistical, but he has the strength to back it up. And it's just amazing on how much he even beat the Digidestineds multiple times. And whoever can pull off a voice like that, and do I even mention my impersonations of anime with this guy? Absolutely I do, because he is a really fun character to play. Either way, Myotismon is like, he is too stubborn to die. I mean, get impaled by Angelomon's light arrow, just come back as the malevolent Venom Myotismon. Get your Demon Crotch blown away by War Greymon, no problem. Just come back in the sequel series as Myotismon. Just no other Digimon villain has ever come back, not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 times he's come back. It's ridiculous how much power and like stubbornness this guy is in staying dead. I mean, they just don't make him like that anymore. They don't make villains like that in Digimon anymore. And that's why Myotismon is by far my favorite and the biggest baddie in Digimon history. Honorable mentions. Ready for a big honorable mentions list, guys? Because a lot of characters in anime are good villains. And don't get me wrong, I want to put a lot of them on this list, but I can only put so much. So that's why I'm giving you guys my honorable mentions list right here. And if you see or mention a character that you want to see thought would be on this list, put it down in the comments down below. Number 1. Out of all the villains I've mentioned, when we're going from brothers turn enemies, a woman who wants to kill him but have power, a brother who put a demon inside his own little brother's soul, or a vampire became a Digimon who is too stubborn to die. There can only be one big baddie in all of anime history. Team Rocket from Pokemon. Wait, what? No, hold on. No, guys, come on. Really? That is not... Do not edit that into my video. No, Ben, I'm telling you. And yes, Kevin, I am not kidding. It's not that funny. Okay, yes. Yeah, it's a good joke. No, put it back. Put back the name that's supposed to be here. Frieza, from Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super. The biggest baddie in all of anime, folks. This guy is cold-blooded, heartless, ruthless. He's a monster. He will kill without a second thought. And he's not a pansy. He has the power to do it. He obliterated Planet Vegeta with just 1 ounce of his power. Especially when with his transformations, his power doubles exponentially. It's ridiculous on how powerful this guy is. I mean, yes, we are kind of used to him and the whole, like, he came back here, he came back like 6 times. He's coming back like 6 times. I think the best part that him coming back is because people know him. He's that much of a threat. He's that much of a baddie. Especially when I saw Resurrection F and I saw his new transformation, the golden form, Golden Frieza. I'm just... Wow, I did not know he had it in him. He actually trained for once in his life. And when he did that, he was actually able to put Super Saiyan Blue Goku into a corner for a certain amount of time because he actually hasn't perfected his form yet. But for that amount of time, he backed Goku into a corner. It's ridiculous how much power he had, even though he had nothing to show for it. But in Dragon Ball Super, he's now learned to control his golden form. And now, since he's fighting for Universe 7, a lot of people think he might become like an anti-hero, but I'm pretty sure he might not, we'll see. But Frieza is that character I know I can totally see being a baddie in almost anything, because, like I said, he will kill without a second thought. He has the power to do so. And it's just... Of all the villains I've seen in Dragon Ball Z, we can count Cell, Majin Buu, Beerus, a few others. Frieza is the one that actually pushed all of our heroes to the breaking point. He killed Krillin in front of Goku, awakening his Super Saiyan power. He actually really almost killed Gohan and basically killed Piccolo in the Dragon Ball Resurrection F movie, and also the Dragon Ball Super arc of that movie. It's just, Frieza is that iconic of a villain, and many people would agree with me. So that's why Frieza is the original and will always be the top anime villain, in my opinion. And that's it for this top 10 list, guys. I know, and I'm sorry, I seriously wanted to post my Last Jedi review, but I don't know what happened. Either it was a network error or something happened with the file. I'll be sure to check on it as soon as this video uploads to the internet. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this list, and let me know what you want in future videos. Write down in the comments below, and remember to smash that like button and go ahead and click subscribe for more future videos. Till the end, I'm the Dark Viewer, guys. Right, peace.
Let's fly to the sky. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Back on your lines. Come on, get on tonight. This is the Captain Tina speaking. We'll be taking off shortly, baby. Come on, get on tonight. Let's fly to the sky.